Hello everybody, and congratulations on taking your first step into the cryptocurrency world. Now I know it may seem overwhelming. Everywhere you look, on social media, on the news, maybe friends and family, maybe you just driving down the street and you might see a Bitcoin ATM, you're starting to hear about this all over the place. And you might be asking yourself, what is this? How is it going to impact my life? And is it something that I should take a serious look at? The answer is yes to everything. This is going to impact your life. This is going to something that you should look into. But more importantly, this is something that you can profit from. We're talking about the greatest technology to hit the world since the internet is the blockchain technology. Now you might be familiar with just the word Bitcoin. That's all right. Bitcoin is just one current crypto in the entire cryptocurrency market. There's hundreds of them, but Bitcoin is the biggest. But this is something that's going to happen whether we like it or not. So the question is, how can you get involved? We're here to show you how you can get involved. It's 3 basic steps. The first thing that we want you to do is to get educated. You got to get educated on what this is about. The schools aren't teaching it right now, and you're only hearing it from word of mouth. So we have a software program in place that's going to teach you in a structured environment so you don't have to go to school. Schools aren't even teaching this right now, to learn about cryptocurrency. That's the first step. The second thing we're going to teach you how to do is to set up your Bitcoin wallet. Set up your Bitcoin wallet. Once you've got All right. Welcome, everybody. Good evening to Late Night Crypto Talk. This is Brandon Ivy, Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. Go ahead and type in the chat box where you're listening in from. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestion, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent decision on which direction you want to move into. So let's go ahead and wait. Let me recognize you guys. Let me see, who do we have on so far. Got Neil Brooks from Richmond, Virginia. Marnita Casa from Colorado. See, Paul Morales. Karen from Florida. Paul is in San Antonio. Paulette. Cryptoneurs. It doesn't matter if that's a word. If it's in crypto, we can make it up. Everything's made up in crypto. Cy Smith, good evening. Facebook user in Temecula. James from Nebraska. Stan Thompson from Michigan. Yashika from Georgia. Facebook user from Illinois. Frank from Texas. Sue Williams, good evening. Provis Lofties, Corpus Christi, Texas. Wilhelmina from New Jersey. Bernard from the A. Robin Porter Beal from Houston. Oh, I got some money to send you, Robin, to send you a message. So right after we're finished with this, I'll send that over to you. Jeffrey Roy Frazier, Washington. Janelle from Colorado. Sue Williams from Utah. Delphine from Los Angeles. Tammy Seagraves from North Carolina. Lisa Ragsdale from Maryland. Jackie Brown Frick from North Carolina. So good evening, everybody. This is our special, unscheduled late night crypto talk. We do it every now and then. Sharita Starling from Chicago. Facebook user says, sorry, I missed it this morning. Hey, you can watch the replay in the inner circles, the inner circle group. You can watch the replay. So Facebook user from Dominica. Good evening. Good evening. So before we get started, I want to quickly look at the charts. And I see on social media and the crypto space, people are in panic mode. Why are they in panic mode? Let's see. Well, the crypto market is at 1.4 trillion, down 10% in the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is at $30,900, down 9% the last 24 hours, 19% the last 7 days. It's actually up 2.1% in the last hour because it hit the buy wall. Did it dip below 30,000? Let's take a look. Let's see here. Give me the last 24 hours. Let the chart pull up for me. Come on. Wow, it was $67 9 years ago. $67. What's up with this chart? Is it moving too fast? Is the thing broke the chart? All right, we'll come back to that. But anyways, why is the market dropped like this? Well, one, it has been predicted. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, hovering between that 41,000 to 45,000 range. It just couldn't pop 46K. Experts were saying that think it's going to go to the low 30s. Some even say to 28,000. So this is not a surprise. In fact, I hope it goes lower. It will be Christmas for me if this goes down to 25,000. The bottom low from experts that I look at and respect is they say 24K. 24K will be the new low. And if that happens, it's exciting times. This is when we want to go all in on crypto. And I'm not excited about Bitcoin. I'm more excited about the altcoins, because Bitcoin goes low, they all go low. And why this? Oh, there we go. Here we go. All right. 24-hour chart. Let's see. Did it dip below 30,000? Yeah, barely. Got to 29,996 and then popped back up. That's because of the buy wall. Popped back up. So we'll see where this lands. This is a soft cat bounce. But it's the altcoins that I'm excited about, because that means, look at Ethereum. I already have alerts. What's that note I put about Ethereum? Well, what did I put this morning? Let's see. You bought Scale, Soul. I bought Green. Altcoins to buy. ADA, Link, CRV. I didn't write it down. I know I put alerts on some of these coins, so I guess, okay, when the alert hits, I know. But I want to buy Ethereum when it gets below 2,000 or right at the 2,000 mark. I'm buying a lot because I know, imagine one day this is going to be worth $40,000 a coin. Let's dream mode that out. Let's dream mode that out in the next 3 years. You put $1,000 on Ethereum right now. It's worth 2308. You have 0.433 Ethereum. It goes to $40,000 a coin. Your $1,000 is now worth 17K. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so people are panicking. This is nothing but a swap meet sale for the rest of us. This is great time for us that are long-term holders, not panicking at all. I like what Judy says there. Buy the effing dip. That's right. That's right. All right, so let's get right on into what we're talking about tonight. We're going to be talking about in the metaverse, and I am very, very interested in learning about this technology and excited about being a consumer of it and also an investor of it. The metaverse, augmented reality. The other day we did late night crypto talk, and we talked about the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality. Was that late night crypto talk or one of the classes? I don't remember. But you guys remember that? Augmented reality versus virtual reality. So here, these are augmented reality contact lenses. That means you walking down the street, you see real life, real scenery, but with these contact lenses, or if you had special glasses or goggles, then you can see other things put into the real world digitally. Now, you take the glasses off, you don't see it, obviously. The best analogy I was able to use to explain this to my mom was Ready Player One. Ready Player One is the best analogy. I visited my parents this weekend for Mother's Day, and I was talking with our CMO James, but I was telling my dad because he wants to go see the Top Gun movie, the new Top Gun movie coming out. And so I said, Dad, think about this. The fighter jets, they've got a HUD display. So the HUD display on their visor, or however the new technology now, is showing you a whole lot more than just the sky. You can do things in the real world by touching these little things. Another way to put it was like, I think Avatar might have been the first movie that came out that really tried to show this type of technology. Avatar, and by the way, did you guys see the latest Avatar trailer? Oh, I'm going to be first in line when that comes out. But Tony Stark's an Iron Man. When Iron Man, when he's able to use that augmented reality stuff that pops up. Virtual reality, on the other hand, is you enter an entirely different world devoid of your natural senses, putting the Oculus goggles on, watching that movie Ready Player One. If you haven't seen that movie, watch that movie. That's the future. Ready Player One. Not everybody's living on top of each other in trailer parks. I'm talking about the world, the way we are going to be socializing with each other, the way we're going to be interacting was going to be that world. I mean, if we look at, it's the next evolution. When I became an entrepreneur in the direct selling industry, the way we connected, outside of having to physically go to a meeting in an office building somewhere and Super Saturdays, was we had conference calls with our team, and we hoped that the top leader paid for a conference line that everybody could call into and it not cost us long distance. That was the big thing right now. Does your upline have a conference line? And only the top dog had it. And we all would use it. And some of the under leaders would always go to the top leader and say, hey, could I use your conference line to have a private meeting with my team? So we had to get that all set up. Then we went to, affordable long distance type conference, like free. What was it? Freeconferencing.com was the next one. Then we went to, there was these party lines back in the day, outside of network marketing. Party lines. That was like in the 90s. You call in, everybody calls in, and you guys are chatting with each other. You don't even know who each other's are, but pick whatever the topic was. The party lines. Then you had Skype. Then Skype came on board, and you can create different channels with your Skype. Then it moved to video conferencing, and that we can actually see each other, but it was limited. Maybe only 4 or 5 people on at a time. Or you can create one room where StreamYard is right now, you just see me, but everybody can watch. And now you've got things like Zoom, where you can have 500 people on with all their cameras on at the same freaking time. But what if there was technology that we entered a world where we all had our own avatar, and we walk into a building, into a conference room, and we're all sitting around the table looking at each other? That type of way. You see, this is the next progression of technology. So let's see what this is all about. Augmented reality contact lenses will project the digital world into our retinas, perhaps helping us navigate the metaverse. Augmented reality may soon fit inside your contact lenses. The lenses would overlay important information about our environment without the need for glasses or a bulky headset. Think about that. The way we got Oculus right now, our grandkids are going to think that that's some dinosaur age stuff. I showed this to my kid the other day. When I was a kid, this was my TV controller. Look at this thing. It's bulky. It's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a 0. It's got the volume up and down, the channel, mute on and off, and then the recall button. I love that recall because it just put me back to the last channel. And I remember when we got this was like state of the art. I still have, my dad has this little Velcro on the back that we had Velcro to the side of the TV so that we would never lose a remote. This was my childhood video stick. And then we got now like this little Fire Stick controller, or my Samsung TV controller. See the difference? It's crazy. Man, this thing is almost the size of this is my Samsung's Z20, S20. No. My flip phone one. A little bit bigger. But my son laughed at this. He said, "What is this? What am I supposed to do with that?" Well, in the future, what those Oculus goggles do, you'll be doing it with your retina, with your little contact lens. It's gonna be crazy. So, this article was originally published by our sister site FreeThink. Okay, yeah. Augmented reality may soon fit inside your contact lenses. Mojo Vision, a startup out of California, revealed a prototype lens earlier this year that demonstrated the feasibility of placing a heads-up display right on our eyes without obstructing our view of the real world. Why does this matter? AR is an emerging technology that many in Silicon Valley think will become as commonplace as smartphones. I agree. So far, most experiments have centered around glasses or headsets. There was Google Glass in 2014. Apple Glass is expected to appear soon, and a variety of other wearables are already on the market. However, these glasses tend to be more Geordie LaForge. Anybody love Star Trek? Geordie LaForge, the Reading Rainbow guy, Roots. Geordie LaForge then a la mode. So Mojo Vision decided just to skip the clunky wearables and go straight to miniaturizing the technology, projecting the information right into our retinas. This discrete technology would make it more appealing to consumers. It would also have real-world applications. For example, in jobs or environments that aren't great for wearables, the contact lenses would overlay important information without getting in the way. Judy, I had a shoebox with a long cord attached to the TV and big square buttons. You want to know the oldest remote control? I was the remote control when I was a kid. All my big cousins, I had to sit next to the TV and either turn it up, change the channel, or be the antenna because the antenna wasn't coming through and I had to hold the antenna a certain way. That was 70s stuff, late 70s stuff. Not just for sci-fi. While the lenses are still in development, and we have a lot of technical and regulatory hoops to jump through before you'll be able to pop one in, the company has ambitious goals for its future use. The first is aiding those with poor vision. The prototype can reportedly enhance. I wear glasses. I used to wear contacts for a long time. I don't like poking my finger in my eye, so I said I'm sticking with glasses. But hold up. The prototype can reportedly enhance images by providing real-time contrast and lighting adjustments, which may help with things like border detection and night vision. I got to show this to my kid, my 14-year-old. He already calls me. He says, Dad, you're still young enough that technology is going to be in the way where you have a whole bunch of robot parts because I have a hearing aid. He says, I'm deaf and blind. So he says, technology is going to put robot stuff in my ears and in my eyes. And I say, yeah, I'll be bionic. I'll be able to hear better than you and see better than you. I actually think that's kind of pretty cool. You know, now we're going to have body parts that are technologically driven. I mean, it's not like this is a new thought. This kind of thinking has been going on since, last almost 100 years? Bionic legs, bionic arms. I remember watching X-Men as a kid, and one of the bad guys' entire body was robotic arms and legs that can do cool stuff with it. I like that. Robin says night vision. Man, I got my contact lens and I'm able to switch to night vision. I'm able to zoom in 100 yards. That's pretty cool. Okay. So the first is aiding those with poor vision. That's me. The prototype can reportedly enhance images. Yeah. Border night detection, night vision. There's also a zoom. Yes. Which could be useful for discerning things like facial expressions. Really? So I can be sitting down and I see a girl way across on the other side of the room and I can like zoom in on her and look at facial expressions. Yeah, that's what we will look at, right? Right? Facial expressions only. Beyond that, the technology would be a godsend to first responders. Fast Company describes its potential usefulness for firefighting. A future firefighter would be able to see the outline of objects in a smoke-filled room, track the whereabouts of other firefighters, even when physically separated, and see other oxygen tank levels without having to pull out a device. Oh, Professor, how do you know? Do you know how the TV remote controls got the nickname clicker? Because of the old style of remotes that had two buttons, one for the volume and one to change the channels, and they clicked when you pushed them. Yep. Pretty soon Pfizer might get into implants. Probably. I mean, everything is going to be, we will be walking computers. Think about our brain is nothing but a computer. It is a living organ computer. People will be living longer because of this stuff too. So, all of this data and more would conceivably be displayed right in a firefighter's line of sight, providing life-saving intel that doesn't distract from the job at hand. Next up, the company plans to build a version for the rest of us, which would display information such as weather, location, names of people you're speaking with, text translations. I would think of Arnold Schwarzenegger as a Terminator, and whenever they did the camera from his point of view, and he looks at somebody, and the moment he looks at them, it goes through their entire facial recognition, height, weight, blood type, with their black background, all that information. Imagine that you do that. You're going this. Think about this, ladies. You go to a bar. You go to a bar, and you're looking for, you want to find somebody to meet that night, whatever. Hook up, and you're looking around at all the dudes, and the dudes, before they even open their mouth, you already see everything on them. Now, there's going to be whole privacy stuff, but things like right now that's public, there's websites you can go to see if there's any registered sex offenders that lives in your neighborhood, and you're able to see where they are. So information like that, criminal records, felonies or whatever, can pop up right on your eyes. And you already know, that guy's not for me. Nah, that guy's not for me. What if it was able to pull up their net worth, whether they are married or not, where they live? Women, do you think that information might be useful to you, or do you like the old, yeah, I'm gonna have a couple of drinks and try to talk to him and get to know him and see if he tells me all this information? You tell me, women that's listening. Would you like to have technology that gave you the rundown on all the guys you look at before you even speak to them? Or does that kind of take the fun out of it? Guys, guys don't care. All right. Guys don't care. Let me not say nothing else on that. I can't break the guy code. But ladies, would you like that? Would you be cool with that technology? I know, Sai sister, that's a two-way street, B. Yep. I think women, here's what I think, and I'm going to get myself in trouble probably saying this. I think women would want to have the technology and would hate it at the same time. Sometimes it's too much information that you will, because then you'll say no to every single man. The dudes want to get no play at the bars. Every girl will say no to every single man, and then that I don't know if that's gonna work that way. But anyways, you want to know it, but then you kind of don't want to know. You kind of want to find out on your own. So next up, the company plans to build a version for the rest of us. Yeah. Weather, location, names of people you're speaking with, text translations. What about the men that try to turn their lives around? Yeah, but will it show that? Will it display? Yeah, he's got a criminal record, but for the last 2 months, he's been holding down a job, and he's making $10,000 a month. Will it give that data? Or will it only show what you want it to show? That's a whole nother realm of legislation and all that stuff that's going to pop up as far as privacy. But I would not look for a fella at a bar, but I could see it being super beneficial for the police. Yeah, but I'm just using the bar as an example, because what if you're in church and you're trying to find you a good church-fearing, God-loving man, only to find out not only is he married, but he's got kids by another woman, he's got bad credit, he's on the sex offender list, blah, 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 and he's right there in church. He said, yeah, that's too much TMI. These are questions that is going to have to be addressed because the technology is already here. This isn't that it's being thought of. It already exists. It's just how we're using it and what's legal. The whole Big Brother thing, that's the pastor. Pastor, deacon, pallbearer. All right, next up, the company plans. Okay, yeah. How it works. Mojo Vision has built a working model of the contact lens, although the demo version available to the public has to be viewed through a virtual reality headset, otherwise gross. I mean, ladies, think about it. Men could just take off their wedding rings if they go out. But what if your headset tells you, oh, he's married? Is he still hands off to you? Do you not care? Mojo Vision decided to skip the clunky wearables and go straight to projecting AR right into our retinas. The micro display is a core of the technology. It's positioned directly in front of the pupil, just like regular contacts. Or would you have to pay to play? Like if you go to certain websites and you can't see somebody's information unless you're a paying member. So if you've got the wearables, somebody else got the wearables, and you look at each other. So if you're a paying member, then you get to see all their information. I'm just saying. Judy made a profound, absolutely. He's hands off if married. Really? Robin, have mercy. Yes, because I do prison ministry and some deserve a second chance. You're absolutely right. They deserve a second chance. The question I'm asking is, will this be a way to profile somebody without knowing the real story? Because I'll give you an example. There was a case in Georgia where how old were they? An 18-year, because she was an 18-year-old boy and a girl. The girl was 17 and 11 or 12 months, not quite 18, but they had sex. The father of the girl charged that dude with, what do they call that? What's the word for that? Because not consent or whatever, because he's technically an adult and she's not. He didn't know that she was a few months away from turning 18. He had just turned 18. He had to register as a sex offender. He was a football player. He had to register as a sex offender. Is he the same as a pedophile that's out there kidnapping kids? There you go. Thank you, Judy. Statutory rape. Is that the same scenario? But if you've got those goggles on and you look the person up, all it says is sex offender, not why. So there's a whole law to this, a whole field to this that is going to have to come into discussion about how we use this technology. I think the most out the gate, it should just probably be name, height, weight, if it does that, because they can do that. And that's about it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna handle this one. So the Mojo lenses, however, are gas permeable and rigid, so they'll also need to be custom fitted into your eyes. How long could you keep it in your eye, though? The display is micro but mighty, containing 14K pixels per inch. That's 300 times as many pixels per inch as your smartphone. It focuses light directly on a tiny portion of your retina in the back of the eye, which contains the majority of your nerve endings. Focusing the display on this region means the lenses require less power and less light to transmit images. Well, the women will lie about weight. Yeah, I don't think the women are going to want a guy to be able to see her weight just by looking at her. The technology is there though. It can do that. Abby says this is freaky, terrifying stuff, but it's also marvelous at the same time. Everything that's kind of brand new and unknown can be a little bit scary. I was talking to a good friend of mine today about, how the church is looking at this whole blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, and then you got the whole mark of the beast, and getting implants in your thumb or your wrist or your forehead and all that stuff. And I did a special talk about this a couple years ago. I think I spent 2 hours on this topic about technology and revelations and all that for the Christian community. I'm not going to go into that tonight. I'll go way down a rabbit hole, but this technology is coming. This just depends on how we decide to use it. Up next, Mojo is working on embedding other crucial electronics into the lenses. Right now, the prototype gets most of its power and computing capabilities by communicating with the device worn on the wrist. That's expected to change with the next iteration. Power will likely come from small, film-like batteries within the lenses, which Mojo claims should be good for a full day of use. Of course, that's what they all say. You know what? I just had a thought. Tomorrow night, for those of you that are founding members, you've bought my crypto education. We begin the Internet of Things, a brand new course that nobody has seen yet. So if you've been following me and listening to me and you've started Bitcoin 101 and advanced crypto and stuff, you've never seen this. And one of the things it talks about is like what helium does, the HNT, where you've got these devices that's collecting data within, a 5 to 10 mile radius of the device. And then it's sharing that information with other devices and other devices and other devices. So now you have wearables that is sharing information about your home and the temperature, what's in your refrigerator, security, and how smart cities are being generated with this technology. So now, or better yet, cars ability, you've got Tesla and whatever, the driverless cars. Well, they're able to share information with each other, talk to each other through these devices. Cool. Imagine the wearables we wear, and we are able to share information with others that have wearable devices, but we decide what information we want to be shared. Maybe that's a possibility in the commercial space. However, for law enforcement will have the ability to see everything, that we can't block that. But will that also run into privacy laws? Big brother. Abby says, none of this is good. It brings more comfort to people are more reliant on technology. People will be more reliant on technology. That is an inevitability. This new generation, if I were to shut off my Wi-Fi in my house right now, my kids wouldn't know what to do. They'd flip out. 15 minutes. Flip out. I would flip out temporarily. And then I could always fall back on, wait, I grew up without this stuff. I know how to entertain myself. We can entertain ourselves without the internet, but you shut off the internet around the world and we go back to the Stone Ages like that. Technology is now inevitable in our lives. We will not be able to operate without it. Just like the majority of human history, we had no electricity. Shut off electricity right now, what happens in the world? So I say, this isn't something to be scared of. It is something to learn more about. knowledge is power. Knowledge will crush the fear, because knowledge means we now know how to maneuver in this impending space. Because as I always say, whether we believe it or not, whether we trust it or not, whether we like it or not, whether we ask for it or not, our opinion is irrelevant. It's coming. I like that, Abby. Prepared, not scared. We should be prepared. So Mojo is working on embedding other crucial electronics into the lenses. Right now, the prototype gets most of its power and computing capabilities by communicating with the device worn on the wrist. So your wrist would basically be like the hard drive, and Bluetooth, it's connecting to your contact lens. As with most AR glasses, the display inflow would be wirelessly transmitted from the wearer's smartphone. How exactly? Well, that crucial detail is still unclear. According to the Financial Times, the company has said it will not rely on Bluetooth, really, but instead on a proprietary communication technology it calls Mojo Tooth. What is that? Is that like what H&T is doing? Hold on. Mojo Tooth. Where is it? Mojo Tooth. It calls Mojo Tooth. You won't find that in your iPhone settings. So whether and how it would be able to talk to our current smartphones, does it mean like radio waves or signals? This is the link. Tech startup develops augmented reality glasses. Yeah. Be a global citizen. Oh, I have to subscribe to read. All right. No, I'm not doing none of that. Okay. Crucially, the lenses will also need an image sensor embedded. The prototype was connected to an external one. This will enable them to recognize what you're looking at and bring up contextual information that may be helpful. Okay, what is this? The display of the future may be in your contact lens. Okay. All right. This is talking about the same thing I'm reading right now. Using apps on a contact lens. And imagine if you're seeing something with your contact lens, you can touch it with your finger and it does stuff. It's like the air is so you're going to be seeing people walking down the street doing this, and you're like, what the heck are they doing? Can you imagine when wearable earbuds, Bluetooth earbuds, that you can talk to people without having the phone to your head and without having a headphones around your head? People thought you were crazy walking down the street talking. They're like, who's he talking to? Oh, he's on the phone. Okay, so I'm gonna save that for later. Wait a minute, I saw vision impaired. The lens was straight in the cornea. Yeah. They're saying the same thing. They'll still fix your vision. Mojo Vision is positioning its contact lens for consumers and businesses, but first, it's focusing on people who are visually impaired or have low vision, or vision poor enough that glasses cannot fix it. That's because all contact lenses, smart or dumb, need to clear the Food and FDA. In the U.S., Mojo Vision has been granted the Breakthrough Device designation, which allows companies to fast-track development, assessment, and review for products that could help people with life-threatening or debilitating conditions. Though the FDA maintains it preserves the statutory standards for pre-market approval. Yeah, I can see how this is going to be big. I'll give you an example of why I say technology is inevitable. When I was diagnosed with hearing loss in my left ear, they don't even know why. They call it they call it sudden rapid hearing loss. And they said that I need to get a hearing aid so that my brain, it doesn't affect my brain, because the brain processing information and whatnot. I was against it because I could still hear, it's just not as good as I used to. So I was like, I don't need a stupid hearing aid. I'm too young to have one. My grandma at the time was like 94 and she had hearing aids. And I'm like, I'm not my grandma. I'm only 40 years old. I'm not getting a stupid hearing aid. I thought they were big, bulky. People would make fun of me, think, something's wrong with me. So I had all those going on. And this was live. I was doing YouTube videos and everything back in those days. If those of you who were following me back then remember that. A year and a half later, I noticed something. I started noticing that the way I speak or spoke was different. That because I hear mostly on my right side, that my lips started to curve a certain way because my face was going to the side where I'm hearing sound. And I said, I guess I'll try out this stupid hearing aid. And when I got it, if you were in the room when they turned it on for the first time, imagine I've gone a year and a half with no hearing aid. And the world instantly came to life to me. Like I can hear the clock ticking in this ear. I can hear noise. I can hear the wind. I can hear little mundane sounds we take for granted every single day. All of a sudden came to life in my ear. And I actually cried hearing that for the first time in more than a year and a half. Now I can't live without it. I have my backup hearing aid in right now because my main one needs to go in for maintenance. And I panicked when I thought of I wouldn't have my hearing aid now because I am, what's the word you want to use? Not just used to it, reliant on it. But I can see where, as a society with these new technologies and stuff, how we will be addicted. But I don't like the word addicted. I will use more of the word reliant. You remember that, Provis? I remember when I did a live where I walked down to downtown in my city, and I used to sit at a park bench early in the morning with the sun come up, and it was like my Saturday morning lives I would do. And I was sharing that experience that I had just got the hearing aid the day before and listening to the waterfall, the birds, the cars driving by me and all that stuff. I was taking all of that in. Fascinating experience. I always used to see that on TV, but you never really get it until you go through it yourself. And I got it. Just like I remember when I got my glasses for the first time when I was a kid, and all of a sudden I could see the street lights. I could read further away. Now I'm getting old. I can't read with my glasses on. My glasses on, and if I got a book in front of me, I can't read these freaking pages. I got to take the glasses off to read. So it helps me for seeing things far away. So anyways, to show off the capabilities of helping people with low vision, the team threw me into a dark hotel room filled with stop signs and various other items. I was handed a stick with a prototype Mojo lens and held it close to my eye. This one had an image sensor connected to it. Despite standing in almost pitch darkness, I could make out people in the room and the edges of the bed, and I could even read the stop sign with ease. It was almost like using night vision. So we're going to have eagle eyes or owl eyes. The image sensor showed me the real world, but the lens increased the contrast, highlighted edges, magnified objects, and performed a few other tricks to help me see in the dark. Ideally, it would help visually impaired users navigate their surroundings a lot easier. It was impressive. Hey, anybody listening, I want to be a guinea pig for this kind of stuff. I volunteer. Mojo Vision is partnering with the Vista Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired in Palo Alto, California. I can look them up. To connect with the nonprofit's clients and get input for the lenses during development. The company will also work with FDA experts to meet safety regulations. If you don't suffer from low vision, have a seat. Oh, come on. If it takes a few years to get clearance on a device that works for the visually impaired, it will take a few more to make a smart contact lens for everyone else. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that is it. I love reading this kind of stuff to see where we're going with technology. I believe that this is the future, whether we like it or not. We still can determine how we decide we want to interact with it. We can stand by the sidelines and think that not for me, and that's okay. That's okay. The way I also look at it, not from using it from a consumer standpoint, but how can I make money with this? How can I make money? Can I find businesses like this that I can invest in? And it becomes the new tech business of the world. I don't know. But anyways, tomorrow morning, early morning crypto talk. We want to see what the markets is going to look like. And the crypto talk is for the ILCA community inner circle only. So if you want to be a part of the inner circle, to be more a part of our crypto talks daily, you want to go to ilcasecrets.com. ilcasecrets.com. It is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That is ILCA, Ivy League Crypto Academy, secrets.com. And you get crypto talk 6 days a week. 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific every morning. Tomorrow night, we do our founding member class. Internet of Things goes live. And I will, and you can be a founding, you have to be a VIP member, but you can go here. Founding member pricing to purchase the courses. You only have to purchase it one time, and you have access to them. Purchase it one time, you've got access to them. And you'll be a part of our live class where you'll be able to ask questions. If you're a prior student of mine, send me a message and I will make sure you get the special link for that. The special link. What is the market looking at right now since I've been talking? Oh, it's bounced back up to 31K. But I believe that's a soft cat bounce. Yeah, we on our way, like Provis said, to 28K. And I'm all for it. Keep going down. Down, down, down. In other words, we're able to hit the reset button. And if you missed out on it running up to 69,000, this is your second chance to get in on this. All right, that is it for Late Night Crypto Talk. I will see you all tomorrow morning, and we are 15 days away from the next 5-day challenge. ILCAchallenge.com, ILCAchallenge.com to be a part of that. Take care, everybody. Bitcoin Brandon out. Bye-bye.